What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Daniel, and welcome back to another video. We got a couple stories to talk about. Not a couple, quite a few stories to discuss today. We got a full-fledged episode of NASCAR news to discuss. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. So, the first story we're going to talk about is Richard Childress Racing in a good light. Richard Childress Racing, according to Adam Stern, Richard Childress Racing has signed a deal with Darlingtons and Cheddar's Kitchen, a major company that has multiple restaurants like Olive Garden, Cheddar's, Longhorn Steakhouse, and the Art House. They've got a few other stores in their location as well, but those are some of the main restaurants in their locations. Let me just say, even with the pandemic going on, this is a really good deal. A lot of this, I think, has to go with Tyler Reddick, because Tyler Reddick is attracting a lot of sponsors, and I think Tyler Reddick is a fantastic driver and has got a great personality as well. I think he's attracting sponsors for companies like Richard Childress Racing. But it's really nice to see, even a pandemic going on, we've got sponsors wanting to associate themselves with companies and teams as well. And I'm really excited to see the future of this, because it's good that they're also getting sponsorship, because, you know, we've had issues with, like, Bob Levine's team talking about maybe shutting down if they don't get their stuff together because of their problems they're having, and you got David Starr out of a ride. Great to see sponsors in a great way coming to support a race team. Now we get into the next story. We are going to be talking about the Wednesday night TV ratings, which were revealed on Thursday. According to Adam Stern, FS1 earned 2.087 million viewers for last night's rain-impacted Toyota 500. This was also the first NASCAR Cup Series midweek event since 1984. Now, let me just say this. Am I disappointed in the ratings? No, I'm not completely disappointed. I wish they were a little bit more, to be honest. Maybe like 100,000 more. I thought there'd be just a little bit more, not too much more, to be honest. But I'm not disappointed by those numbers like some people are. This does give a good case for midweek racing, because I think that they can promote the Chase Elliott flipping off Kyle Busch moment, and a lot more people were talking about that than the race in general, because a lot of people are talking about what happened with Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch, which we'll talk a little more about Chase Elliott here later in the episode. But again, there's a lot of reasons why. One, rain impacted the race, so the race started an hour and a half later than it was supposed to. If it started at original time that it was supposed to start, maybe it would have gotten a little bit better ratings, but I'm not really sure on that. But you also have to understand that people were working on Wednesdays. You're not going to see a lot of people watching midweek, as many people watching midweek races, and plus, probably because people, one, are working. Two, a lot of people don't own FS1. You already lose half of your fan base who watched the race on Fox, who were watching the race on Wednesday, because they don't have FS1, because people don't have money to buy FS1. Let's get things like YouTube TV, which that costs like $50 a month for me to basically spend on. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised the ratings were not a little bit higher. Well, I'm not completely surprised, but, you know, 2.087 million viewers is not bad for a Wednesday night race that was impacted by rain. And I do think ratings may go up. I'm not sure. This might be the peak where it ends up saying. Who really knows? But again, I think this does give a good, strong case for midweek racing. I would be really intrigued to see how midweek racing is, because my personal opinion on midweek racing, I think that for just this year right now, for the short term, I think it worked to kind of, because of the COVID-19 situation, it kind of clears out the schedule and gets all the races in. But I think long-term midweek racing is not going to work long-term because you're not going to get the millions of viewers you saw, like for the Darlington race and probably for the Coke 600 that you saw Wednesday, because people aren't going to be watching it as much. Unless, of course, you promote the hell out of it, and they could probably do a lot of promotion toward that. But very interesting to see what happens with the ratings for the Coke 600. I think the ratings are going to be much, much higher. I think they might even be honest with you, are going to be higher than the Darlington race, just because the Coca-Cola 600 has a lot more notoriety than Darlington, because most people know that the Coke 600 is going on its original date. It's the first event that's going on its original date as well, compared to other events. I'm really excited to see what happens for the rest of the year, and hope ratings continue to stay up, because I think ratings, to be quite honest with you, have been really strong this year. They most heavily have been up, a little down, but a lot down for this one. But again, it was on Fox Sports 1. Yes, it was really low, and it was still like the third or fourth lowest. 2019 had more. But again, this race has only been up for a couple weeks, so who really knows? Again, I apologize for my hair. My hair is really messed up today. But yeah, anyway, let's get back to the NASCAR news. Now we get into the next story. We are going to be talking about J.J. Yeley. J.J. Yeley will be raced in the Coca-Cola 600 for Tommy Baldwin Racing. He has raced for Tommy Baldwin Racing in the past, and he's has reunited with this organization. To be honest with you, J.J. Yeley is just J.J. Yeley. He ain't a great driver. He was a bust in NASCAR history. And I just think J.J. Yeley is not going to have a great run. Again, this team didn't really have a great run because, again, they were off pace and didn't have speed at the first race. I think they ended up finishing outside the top 35. I thought they would get a top 30, to be quite honest with you, or top 35. But I don't think they even cracked the top 35 in the race, which is like a really good shame, great shame. But yeah, I think J.J. Yeley is going to have some intrigue, and we'll see what happens with this organization in the near future. Now we get into the next story. We are going to be talking about Chase Elliott. Now, Chase Elliott did have some comments on Kyle Busch, and they're more positive than I thought they were going to be. Chase Elliott said he didn't think Kyle Busch wrecked him on purpose. I get it. I just hate I was on the wrong end of a race one, rare one on his end. Because Kyle Busch doesn't make a lot of mistakes. This is also coming from Bob Pockers as well. I think Chase Elliott understands that Kyle Busch didn't do it on purpose. There's a lot of urgency. Kyle Busch made a really big mistake. I thought it was intentional at first myself, to be quite honest with you. But then when you watch the replays and watch it, Kyle didn't do it on purpose. He admitted to his mistakes. Granted, he kind of got mad at Matt Yoakum. But again, after a couple of days after the race, my personal opinions have changed. I don't think Kyle did it on purpose. I was mad at Kyle Busch at the time because he wrecked Chase Elliott, and Chase had the car to beat at the end of that race, which is a great shame. But I think Chase Elliott, good at least accept. It looks like he forgives Kyle Busch for the incident. Maybe retaliation happens at Charlotte. Who really knows? I don't know. It's a mile-and-a-half racetrack. I don't think they're gonna retaliate there. But I think Chase Elliott has a really good. Again, Chase Elliott's been fast all year. I think he'll do really well. I don't think he's gonna retaliate against Kyle Busch unless we go to Bristol Martinsville. He doesn't. Again, I don't think he's gonna do it. But I appreciate Chase Elliott for giving Kyle Busch. Because Chase Elliott, I think, is a cool-headed driver. He doesn't get into a lot of confrontations with a lot of drivers. The only driver who's really had issues with in the past is Denny Hamlin. And we all know how that ended. He didn't wreck Denny Hamlin. He dumped him because he put him in the wall and cut his tire. I think that was really fun, to be honest with you. But Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch don't really have a history. Kyle Busch has said that Chase Elliott is a class act as well. I think Chase Elliott is a fantastic driver. And I think he's going to be someone we have to respect for years to come because he's a fantastic driver. Yeah, I just hope that Chase Elliott can, hopefully he doesn't retaliate. He might. Who really knows? But hopefully Chase Elliott just keeps his head on because he wants to win a championship this year, and I think he's got a really good shot to win it. He just needs to keep his head cool and keep his head focused in the game of racing and try to go out there and win races, including a truck race on Tuesday night and the Coke 600 on Sunday and then Wednesday with the Cup race as well. Now we get into the next story. We're going to be talking about something for Talladega. It's about window nets. Now, just according to Bob Pocker, starting with Talladega, teams will have new requirements for the window net mounting system. Part of the review of the Newman crash and already was something NASCAR was looking at. So, they'll pass some new requirements. I don't know what those requirements are to be exact. Probably something similar to, not getting into something that isn't going to, sorry about that, something that probably isn't going to hurt these drivers as much. I just don't know what the deal with the window net thing is, probably for safety reasons. That's all I wanted to say on that. Now we get into the next story. Remember when I told you that Erik Jones was probably going to be competing for the bounty? Well, unfortunately, because of the amount of cars that are going to be in this event, Erik Jones will not be competing in the Truck Series race at Charlotte. As Bob Pocker reported, Erik Jones won't be in the Charlotte Truck race. There were more than 40 trucks entered. I looked at the entry list for the Truck Series race, and there were 47 trucks that were attempting to make this event. Imagine if only 32 trucks were going to be allowed to race in this event. 15 trucks would have failed to qualify. 15 trucks would have failed to qualify. The reason that there was such a high count of trucks entered in this event is, again, they were in Charlotte. Usually for the Charlotte Trucks race, along with Daytona, you usually see a lot more teams come out to try and qualify for this event because they were, close to town. But, man, 47 trucks tried to enter this event. Could you imagine if we had 15 cars in NASCAR's Cup Series failed to qualify? 55 people attempt to come into a race. That would be insane. But, yeah, Erik Jones, it sucks because Erik Jones is the highest profile driver on this list, and I would have been cool to see him run because, to be quite honest with you, I think he would have had a really, really good shot to go out there and probably win the race and go up against Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, guys like Grant Enfinger, Matt Craft, because, again, Erik Jones, he's good in the Truck Series. He was one of the best when he's in that series, even before getting full-time. Yeah, granted, he was at KBM, and this would have been with Billy Below Motorsports, and Richie Waters. Maybe in the near future, he will be allowed to get back in and try to attempt to run this races in the future with the Truck Series, maybe at some upcoming racetracks like Homestead. Who really knows? But I hope Erik Jones gets another opportunity to drive in the Truck Series, because to drive this truck, I should say, because I think he could put on a show against Kyle Busch. Now we get into the next story and a continuation of the story. Pocono. Monroe County will be moving to yellow phase of reopening on May 29th, which Governor Wolf previously said was necessary for NASCAR Pocono with no fans, which is a really good sign. Because of this, it looks like that we are going to be having the Pocono double header. That's real exciting to hear. Now we get into the final story. Ray Black Jr. is going to be stepping down to help the family business. Along with this, Rick Ray Racing has struck a deal with SS Greenlight Racing. So they're continuing to buy all these small teams and continuing to build their small team empire. Ray Black Jr.'s family owns like a diving school business, if I'm not mistaken, which just sucks because Ray Black Jr., I think, is a very talented driver. He's done really well with that organization. So Garrett Swiftly is going to take his ride, but back on this, Ray Black Jr., in my honest opinion, could have a long-term future in the sport if he gets to come back. And I think he will come back in the foreseeable future. Just right now, I think he's making a good decision for his family because his family has not been able to make money since the COVID-19 situation because they're not an essential business. Now with them possibly going to be reopening in the near future, he's got to help that family kind of get back going. And I'm not surprised that they made this decision. So yeah, that is all the NASCAR news I have for today. First of all, thank you guys for the support on yesterday's video. I do really appreciate it. I got a lot of love and support. Some people I've not seen in a while in the comments. To those people in the comments, thank you guys for your continued support. I truly do appreciate it. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications so you get notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links in the description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. What do you think of Chase Elliott for giving Kyle Busch? Do you think he's now going to retaliate or no? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think of the Wednesday night TV ratings? Do you think that the ratings are going to help possibly midweek races come in the future or not? Let me know in the comments below. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.